For centuries, Jamaica's economy was locked behind the gates of the 21 families, colonial dynasties that controlled everything from bauxite to banking. But look past the old money, and you'll see a revolution. A new class of black sovereigns has risen from the soil to buy back the island piece by piece. We are tracking the tycoons who turned jerk sauce into global empires, and the billionaire who went from cleaning engine rooms to owning the National Commercial Bank. These are the 10 richest black families in Jamaica. Stick around for number 1. His net worth rivals the GDP of a small country, and his story is the ultimate blueprint for Caribbean power. Number 10. Gayle, the universe boss. To start this list, we look at the man who proved that you don't need a suit and tie to dominate the boardroom. Sometimes, you just need a cricket bat and an attitude that refuses to shrink. Christopher Henry Gayle, known to the world as the universe boss, is not just a cricketer. He is a one-man economic zone. While most athletes burn through their cash before retirement, Gayle played a different game. He understood early on that his brand was his biggest asset. Born in Kingston and rising from humble beginnings, Gayle capitalized on the explosion of T20 cricket, becoming one of the highest-paid free agents in the sport's history. But the real wealth isn't in the match fees. It's in the equity. Gayle launched the Triple Century Sports Bar in Kingston, a premier nightlife and dining destination that became an instant landmark. It wasn't a vanity project. It was a real estate play, anchoring him in the heart of the city's hospitality sector. His portfolio extends into real estate, with a mansion in the hills of St. Andrew that is legendary for its strip club, amenities, and sheer scale, a physical manifestation of his six-machine persona. But look deeper. Gayle has invested in the music industry, launching his own label, Triple Century Records, and collaborating with top dancehall artists. He has endorsement deals that span the globe, from Indian conglomerates to Caribbean brands, monetizing his image across continents. His estimated net worth sits comfortably in the multi-millions, likely exceeding 30 to 40 million US dollars when you factor in his global assets and business holdings. Gayle represents the new money of Jamaica, loud, unapologetic, and built entirely on self-belief. He didn't ask for a seat at the table of the old elite. He built his own sports bar and invited the world to come to him. Number 9. Levi Roots, the sauce sovereign. If Gayle hit sixes, our next tycoon hit the jackpot with a guitar and a bottle of sauce. Levi Roots, born Keith Valentine Graham in Clarendon, Jamaica, is the definition of turning culture into capital. His story is folklore in the UK business world. In 2007, he walked into the Dragon's Den, the British version of Shark Tank, with a guitar, a song about Reggae Reggae Sauce, and a dream. He walked out with an investment that would change his life and the British food industry forever. But don't mistake him for a one-hit wonder. Levi Roots didn't just sell a sauce, he sold the vibe of Jamaica. That initial deal exploded into a brand empire worth an estimated 35 million pounds, approximately 45 million US dollars. The sauce is now a staple in supermarkets across the UK and beyond, but Levi leveraged that shelf space into a full-blown lifestyle brand. We are talking about ready meals, soft drinks, snacks, and even a chain of restaurants. Though he faced challenges in the volatile hospitality sector, the brand equity remains massive. His wealth allowed him to transcend his humble beginnings in Brixton and Clarendon. He became a motivational speaker, a cookbook author, and a television personality, effectively monetizing his personality. His influence is a testament to the power of intellectual property. The recipe was his grandmother's, but the empire is his. Levi Roots proved that Jamaican heritage is a premium commodity in the global market. He showed that you can take something as simple as a Sunday dinner recipe and scale it into a multinational corporation if you have the charisma to sell it. He is the tastemaker of Black British Jamaican wealth. Number 8. Raheem Sterling, the strategic investor. When you think of Raheem Sterling, you probably see him in a football kit, tearing down the wing for England or Chelsea. But you should be seeing him in a hard hat, reviewing blueprints for his next development. Born in the Maverley district of Kingston before moving to London at age 5, Sterling has never severed his roots. Instead, he has used his massive Premier League salaries to plant deep financial anchors back home. Sterling is quietly becoming one of the most notable young real estate moguls connected to the island. He has purchased a row of properties in Stockport, UK to redevelop, but his eyes are firmly on Jamaica. He famously bought a lavish mansion in Kingston's exclusive Norbrook neighborhood, a fortress of luxury that signaled his arrival as a major player in the local property market. But it's not just homes. Sterling has ventured into the fashion industry with his brand, 1692, named after the year of the Great Earthquake of Port Royal, which pays homage to his Jamaican heritage. This isn't just merch. It's a high-end fashion line with Clark shoe collaborations that sell out in minutes. His net worth is estimated to be over $60 million, but his trajectory is what lands him on this list. He is using his peak earning years to build a diversified portfolio that will last generations. He has also invested in his own agency to manage players, taking control of the business side of football. Raheem Sterling represents the modern diaspora dream. Earn in pounds, invest in the yard. He is proving that you can leave the island, conquer the world, and return not just as a visitor, but as a landlord. Number 7. Shaggy. The smartest money in music. Most people know Shaggy for It Wasn't Me. What they don't know is that Orville Richard Burrell is arguably the most astute business mind in the history of dancehall. While other artists were fighting for street cred, Shaggy, a former US Marine, was fighting for ownership. He understood the global market in a way few of his peers did. With a net worth estimated between 15 and 20 million US dollars, and likely higher given his asset appreciation, Shaggy's wealth is solid, diversified, and liquid. He didn't just make hits. He made anthems that are licensed for movies, commercials, and soundtracks worldwide, generating a royalty stream that flows like a river. But Shaggy's power in Jamaica goes beyond his bank account. He is a philanthropist on a scale that shames major corporations. The Shaggy and Friends Foundation has raised millions of US dollars for the Bustamante Hospital for Children. This isn't just charity, it's influence. When Shaggy calls, corporate Jamaica answers. He can mobilize the entire private sector for a cause, giving him a level of social capital that money alone cannot buy. He lives in a stunning estate in the Stony Hill area, a property that reflects his status as an elder statesman of the culture. He has invested in real estate in both Jamaica and Florida, ensuring his wealth is protected from market volatility. Shaggy represents the transition from entertainer to institution. He proved that a boy from Kingston could join the Marines, sell 30 million albums, and come back to save the lives of the next generation. That is true wealth. Number 6. The Hawthorne family. The Golden Crust Empire. Now we enter the realm of true family dynasties. The story of the Hawthorne family is one of triumphant success, heartbreaking tragedy, and unbreakable resilience. They are the family behind Golden Crust Caribbean Bakery and Grill, the company that took the Jamaican beef patty from a street snack to a mainstream American staple. It began with Lowell Hawthorne, who migrated to the Bronx from St. Mary, Jamaica, in 1981. He found a job as an accountant with the NYPD, but he couldn't shake the memory of his family's bakery back home. In 1989, he gathered his siblings and their spouses, the entire clan, and they pooled their money to open the first Golden Crust on East Gun Hill Road. They didn't just open a shop, they built a franchise machine. Today, Golden Crust has over 120 locations across North America and sells its patties in 20,000 supermarkets, including Walmart and Dollar General. They process over 50 million patties a year. The family's wealth is massive, built on the manufacturing and distribution infrastructure that feeds millions. But in 2017, tragedy struck when Lowell Hawthorne took his own life, a shock that rocked the business world and the Jamaican community. Many predicted the empire would crumble. They were wrong. The family, his wife, children, and siblings circled the wagons. They took the helm, stabilized the company, and continued the expansion. This resilience is what places them on this list. They proved that the structure Lowell built was stronger than any single individual. The The Hawthorne family represents the immigrant hustle at its absolute peak, coming to a new country, building a castle, and defending it against the darkest of storms. They are the kings and queens of the Caribbean diaspora economy. Number 5. The Hosang family, the manufacturing titans. If the Hawthorns are the kings of the franchise, the Hosang family are the emperors of the factory. Vincent Hosang is the founder of Caribbean Food Delights and the Royal Caribbean Bakery. His story is the stuff of legend. Born in Jamaica to a family of Chinese and African heritage, he migrated to the UK and then the US, armed with little more than grit. He started selling patties out of a van in the Bronx, battling the winter cold to deliver a taste of home. That van turned into a small store, which turned into a massive 103,000 square foot manufacturing plant in Tappan, New York. Caribbean Food Delights is now the leading manufacturer of Jamaican-style patties, widely distributing to major retailers like Costco, BJ's, and military commissaries worldwide. The Hosang family didn't just build a business, they built a supply chain. Vincent, alongside his wife Jeanette and their children, controls a private fortune that is deeply reinvested into philanthropy. The Vincent Hosang Family Foundation has donated millions to the University of the West Indies and hospitals in Jamaica. They funded the Vincent Hosang Program for Entrepreneurship, creating a pipeline for the next generation of Jamaican business leaders. Their wealth is quiet, industrial, and incredibly solid. They own the land, the machines, and the recipes. While they operate largely from New York, their identity and their impact are inextricably linked to Jamaica. They represent the industrialists, the family that realized you don't just cook the food, you manufacture it by the ton. When you study families like the Hosangs, you realize that their secret weapon wasn't just hard work, it was financial literacy. If you want to understand the mindset that builds this kind of generational wealth, I've linked a few essential books on business strategy and biography right here. Check the products on the screen to start building your own empire. Number 4. Dr. Glenn Christian, the pharmaceutical giant. Now we return to the island, to a man who started as a postman and ended up owning the medicine cabinet of Jamaica. Dr. Glenn Christian is the founder and chairman of the CariMed Group. His journey is a masterclass in sales and distribution. Born in rural Clarendon, his first job was delivering mail. He later became a pharmaceutical sales rep, driving across the island to sell drugs to pharmacies. He saw a gap in the market. The big foreign companies were inefficient. He knew he could do it better. In 1986, he founded CariMed with 3 employees. Today, CariMed is the leading distributor of pharmaceutical and consumer goods in Jamaica. If you buy toothpaste, painkillers, or vitamins in Jamaica, chances are Glenn Christian's trucks delivered it. He didn't stop at distribution. He acquired the assets of Colgate-Palmolive in Jamaica. He bought the Kirk brand. He built a massive distribution center that rivals Amazon's efficiency on a Caribbean scale. His net worth is kept private, but the sheer volume of his trade places his family among the financial elite. He is one of the few Black Jamaicans to break into the distribution oligarchy that was traditionally controlled by the old merchant families. The Christian family is now expanding into manufacturing and real estate. They built the CariMed Park in St. Catherine, a massive industrial complex. Glenn Christian is the boss of logistics. He proved that if you control the flow of goods, you control the economy. His success is a beacon for every Black Jamaican who wants to move from being a consumer to being the supplier. Number 3. Usain Bolt, the fastest brand on earth. At number 3, we have a man who needs no introduction, but whose business acumen deserves a standing ovation. Usain St. Leo Bolt, the fastest man alive. But speed fades, equity lasts forever. Bolt has transitioned from the track to the boardroom with the same explosive power he used to destroy world records. His estimated net worth hovers around $90 million, but his brand value is priceless. Bolt didn't just take endorsement checks from Puma, though the $10 million a year lifetime deal helps. He built his own assets. He co-founded Tracks and Records, a sports bar and restaurant franchise that he is expanding into the UK. He launched his own electric scooter company, Bolt Mobility, which operates in cities across the US and Europe. He has his own shaving company, Champion Shave. He is a music producer, releasing his own albums. And let's talk about real estate. He owns a penthouse in Kingston that is arguably the most famous bachelor pad in the Caribbean, along with investment properties in Australia and the UK. Recently, he faced a massive setback with the SSL fraud scandal, where millions were reportedly stolen from his accounts. But here is the thing about true wealth. It absorbs the blow. Bolt didn't crumble. He kept moving. His diversified income streams kept the empire standing. He is now raising a family, building a legacy that will ensure his children, Olympia Lightning and the Twins, St. Leo and Thunder, never have to run for money. Usain Bolt is the CEO of speed. He turned 9.58 seconds of work into a lifetime of luxury. Number 2. The Marley family, the royal family of reggae. If Jamaica has a royal family, this is it. The Marleys are not just a family. They are a global conglomerate wrapped in the red, gold, and green flag. Bob Marley left this world without a will, sparking decades of legal battles. But today, the family operates as a unified corporate force. Their collective wealth is estimated to be over $500 million when you combine the estate's annual earnings, individual careers, and brand equity. They control the rights to the most valuable music catalog in reggae history, but they didn't rest on the royalties. Cedella Marley, the CEO of the group, has transformed the name into a lifestyle titan. We are talking about Marley Natural, a global cannabis brand that is capitalizing on the legalization wave. House of Marley, which sells premium headphones and speakers. Marley Coffee, run by Rohan Marley, which owns farmland in the Blue Mountains. Damien, Stephen, Ziggy, and Julian all have successful touring careers that generate millions independently. They own the Tough Gong recording studios, a pressing plant, and the Bob Marley Museum in Kingston, which is a pilgrimage site for millions. The family has successfully commodified the message of one love without losing the soul of the mission. They have faced criticism, sure, but they have protected the legacy from being looted by outsiders. They ensured that the wealth generated by the most famous Jamaican of all time stays in the hands of his black descendants. The Marley family is the ultimate example of cultural ownership. They prove that your song is your property, your name is your trademark, and your legacy is your greatest inventory. Number 1. Michael Lee Chin, the Billionaire Blueprint. And finally, we arrive at the summit. The richest man in Jamaica and one of the most powerful black billionaires in the world. The Honorable Michael Lee Chin. With a net worth fluctuating between 1.4 and 1.6 billion US, Lee Chin is in a league of his own. Born in Port Antonio to a black mother and a Chinese-Jamaican father, he started his life cleaning the engine rooms of cruise ships. He moved to Canada for university, worked as a bouncer, and then found his calling in finance. In 1983, he borrowed money to buy a small stake in an investment firm. He turned that stake into AIC Limited, which at its peak managed over $10 billion in assets. But Lee Chin didn't just stay in Canada. He brought the money home. In 2002, he did the unthinkable. He bought the National Commercial Bank, NCB, of Jamaica. At the time, people said he was crazy. The Jamaican economy was unstable. But Lee Chin saw value where others saw risk. He transformed NCB into the most profitable bank in the country. Today, his holding company, Portland Holdings, owns stakes in everything: banking, insurance, media, tourism, and healthcare. He owns the majestic Trident Hotel in Port Antonio. He owns massive tracts of beachfront land. His lifestyle is the stuff of dreams. He famously owned the Quattro L, one of the world's most expensive super yachts, and drives a fleet of Ferraris. But his philosophy is prosperity for all. He led the Economic Growth Council of Jamaica, advising the government on how to attract investment. Michael Lee Chin is the ultimate hybrid. He has the discipline of a Wall Street banker and the heart of a Port Antonio boy. He proved that a Jamaican could go out into the world, beat the global titans at their own game, and come back to buy the bank. He is the richest black family in Jamaica. From the saucepans of Levi Roots to the bank vaults of Michael Lee Chin, these families have rewritten the rules of Jamaican wealth. They shattered the myth that you have to be from the 21 families to run the island. They built their empires on culture, on food, on speed, and on financial genius. They are the new architects of the Caribbean, proving that the most valuable natural resource in Jamaica isn't bauxite or beaches, it's the ambition of its people. Which of these tycoons inspired you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe to Black Status for more deep dives into the empires you're not supposed to know about. We'll see you in the next one.